Good morning, students. Hope all are fine. Dear students, we are in a very tough situation due to COVID 19. But, dear students, if we follow the instructions for isolation, we can defeat this pandemic. Dear students, with a strong determination, with a strong willpower, we can defeat this COVID 19. Hope all we can. So, today's dear student will start the chapter, that is the first chapter, and the second part of that chapter. The student, let's see the book here. In the last session, we have studied about cell harmony. Today, we'll start with the topic smallness of cell, a greater efficiency. Means cells are generally small in size because smaller cells increase the surface area and provide different regions to communicate each other. That's why smaller is the cell, more is the cell efficient. Now, the topic is cell shape. Cells are of different shapes. First, irregular, and this irregular shape is also known as amoeboid shape. For example, WBC, white blood cells, one of the type of blood cells that protect our body from the diseases so-called or pathogens. But how this possible? Because WBC circulate within the blood vessels and pathogens may be outside the blood vessels. So this is the WBC that causes amoeboid movement, and due to the amoeboid movement, due to their particular shape, can easily oozes out from the wall of the capillaries and engulf the pathogens. Second, biconcave, and the most common example is RBC. This biconcave shape RBC increase enormous surface area for the accommodation of, this is the biconcave shape. So RBC, which are biconcave shape, this biconcave shape increase surface area for the accommodation of what? Hemoglobin. This hemoglobin increase the surface area, this RBC increase the surface area so that more and more hemoglobin can accommodate with the RBC, help in the maximum transport of oxygen to the body cells. Third, vein shape. Most common example is the guard cell. In the ventral surface, under surface of leaves, there are minute openings. These openings are known as stomata. These stomata are guarded by two bean-shaped guard cells like this. These are the bean cells. So this is the stomatal pore. So stomatal pore is guarded by two bean-shaped guard cells, and this particular shape provide for the closing and opening of the stomata. Third, elongated, example nerve cell. Nerve cells are the example of longest cell, and these help in the transmission of impulse from brain to the body parts, or as well as body parts to the brain. Now, next topic, structure of cell. Various kinds of cell which saw special differences yet possess basic structural plan. So, according to this, a generalized cell consists of cell membrane, nucleus, and the cytoplasm. Most of the cell parts have definite structure and function. These parts are called cell organelles. which are located inside the cytoplasm as well as in the nucleus. So parts of the cell that lies in different areas are in cytoplasm, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, cell bodies, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, lysosomes, centrosome only in animal cell and plastid only in plant cell. These which are present in the cytoplasm are said to be living parts of a cell. In addition, there are some non-living parts that is present in the cytoplasm are granules, vacuoles and the fat droplets. So altogether all these parts are located inside the cytoplasm. In nucleus, first of all the boundary, that is the nuclear membrane. Dark spherical body inside the nucleus is called nuclei, chromatin fiber, and the area within the nuclear membrane is called nucleoplasm. Once more, the boundary of the nucleus is nuclear membrane, a dark spherical body called nucleus, that is nuclei, genetic material chromatin fiber, and fourth the nucleoplasm, the area within inside the nucleus. Cell membrane, the outermost boundary, is the living part, but in addition to the cell membrane, plant cell also possess cell wall, that is the non-living part. Now just see the figure. This is the animal cell, plant cell. So animal cell and plant cell, both the cell membrane, nucleus and the cytoplasm are the common parts. So these are considered as the generalized parts of a cell. Now cell parts. So cell membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm are the parts of a cell. So here we'll study one by one all the parts. Cell membrane. First of all, cell membrane is the living part of a cell. This cell membrane separates the cell content from the outside environment. This is made by lipid and proteins, hence lipoproteinous in nature. This cell membrane contains minute openings, minute pores. Hence, it is semi-permeable. This semi-permeable cell membrane allow the entry of certain substances only inside the cell. Hence, it is called differentially permeable or selectively permeable. But in addition to the cell membrane, plant cell possesses cell wall. Cell wall is non-living. Cell membrane was living. It is made by cellulose, a rigid substance. Hence, it provides rigidity to the cell. Cell wall is freely permeable. Cell wall is freely permeable means any substance can pass into the cell without any hindrance. Now come to the third part, that is cytoplasm, an area between cell membrane and nucleus. It is a semi-liquid substance, occupies most part of cell within the cell membrane. It appears colorless, partly transparent and somewhat watery. This cytoplasm is the site of many chemical reactions and a living cytoplasm always in a state of movement. This cytoplasm contains various cell organelles that perform many specific cellular functions. That's why in a cell, dignity of labor can seen. Means all the parts carry special function and no parts interfere with the functions of other parts. In the next session, we will study all the cellular structure. Dear students, along with the audio or video, must refer your book that will help you great. So for today, this is okay. Bye.